not that you could figure that out at all. But I was in an improv group, and one of our inside jokes was that whenever somebody would yell, "How y'all doing?" or "How's everybody doing?" the crowd was supposed to yell, "Catamaran." And so I'm going to try this again this week. When I yell, "How y'all doing?" I want everybody to yell, "Catamaran." Okay, how y'all doing?
Catamaran.
Sweet. Okay, so I work at the movie theater, and I always find it really funny when like adults will bring their really like little kids to rated R movies, as if they think that, oh, they'll just fall asleep. They won't even realize the action and danger and stabbing people or the sexual scenes. They won't know what's going on, and they usually always end up coming out like 30 minutes later, and they always yell at us saying, I didn't know that movie was going to have 30 minutes of like people showing their boobs. That's inappropriate for my little child. I just want to be like, well, sir, this movie was rated R. What were you thinking in the first place? I always think it's funny when people overuse words or use words incorrectly. Like the word ironic. Half the time I just want to be like, no, that is not ironic. Like, I'll give you an example. If a guy who has diabetes is driving to get insulin and he gets hit by a truck and dies, if the truck just happened to contain sugar, that would not be ironic, that would just be a sad coincidence. But if that truck carried insulin, that would be ironic because he was trying to get insulin in the first place. Or how people often use the word funner, even though funner is not a word, it is more fun. But now that Americans have used the word funner so often that it is now in the dictionary, so it is officially a word, which is kind of sad. I also think it's funny how I found this joke on YouTube, how when people use to and for, but they say ta and fur, well, if you were to count that way, you would think that I wasn't educated. 1, 2, 3, fur. Okay, so I lived in a dorm when I was at Wazoo, and the worst thing you could possibly do is lock yourself out of your dorm. I did that quite a few times. I would go to shut my door and I'd be like waiting for those last few seconds. I'd try to reach for it, I'd be like, oh shit. And I have to go all the way down to the front desk and ask for them to give me a spare key, and then I have to go all the way up and get my key out of it. But the worst time to lock yourself out of your dorm room is after you take a shower, because the shower is right down the hallway, and if you lock your keys out of your dorm, or lock your keys in your dorm, you're pretty much screwed.